22 minutes past the hour. So, Autonomy Capital research founder Robert Gibbins says Argentine voters will probably elect a market-friendly candidate in the presidential election. It's coming up very shortly, or actually towards the back end of the year. He spoke to Bloomberg at the Milken Global Conference.
What we have a clear decision to make from an Argentine society perspective between a complete deinstitutionalizer, that would be Cristina Kirchner, and a group, Cambiemos, that believes in the reinstitutionalization of Argentina in order to get the mechanisms that's required to fulfill the potential of Argentina. So it's a very, very profound choice. It's a stark choice for Argentines, and I think it's an extraordinarily important one. I think that what will happen here is that faced with the choice between going back to what they know to have failed, which was Cristina Kirchner in a kind of a profound deinstitutionalization, I think that Argentines are going to choose to carry forward with the path. Whether it's with Mauricio Macri or with somebody else from Cambiemos, we'll see in June, and I think that's the thing that the market's waiting for.
So you expect that ultimately the Argentines will go with a market-friendly candidate, but can you really make the case that a market-friendly candidate like President Macri was to Wall Street and has actually really done anything that's benefited investors?
Right. So I think that investors got into Argentina, I think, maybe when things weren't so good, and they perhaps didn't give full importance to the starting position. The starting position was completely deinstitutionalized, a current account deficit that was near 6%, a primary deficit that was near 5%, and investors really believed in the potential of Mauricio Macri and Cambiemos, but they didn't really expect the very hard journey that it was going to be in order to adjust those metrics. Now, in a crisis, those metrics have been adjusted. So when we take a look at where the current account is, it's near flat. When we take a look at where the primary deficit is going, it's down to 2% on its way to zero. I think that's a very big starting point. When we take a look at the weekly inflation figures, the last 4 inflation figures, they've gone from 1.4, 0.79, 0.48. This last weekly, according to polls we look at 0.31. So things are getting into line. Now, whether things improve sufficiently to June to make President Macri an effective candidate, or whether they're going to have to replace him as a candidate in June with somebody else who will win, almost certainly and potentially in the first round, that is a decision that we're going to have to wait for in June.
And that is Autonomy Capital research founder